Hey my faves, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm in my hot pink era, but I thought I'd try something new with my outfits. But anyway, that's not the point of this video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I make my thumbnails. I've had a lot of requests on how I make my thumbnails, so I thought I'd do a video for you guys. I'm going to be showing you the editing software I use, and I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how to make them. But yeah, I'm going to be making a thumbnail for this video, so I'm going to show you all the basics. So let's get into it. So this is the software I use. You can see my last thumbnail there, and it is called pixlr. I really like this software. It is free to use and it's super easy and like simple to work your way around. But first of all, you click open image, and I have a folder with like a bunch of backgrounds on. It's just a bunch of random stuff, but I've taken these 3 pictures of outside of my house and I use them for like backgrounds in my videos. So I think I'm going to choose this one, and when you open that it should look like this. But the resolution for a thumbnail on YouTube is 1280 by 720. So to get it to that size, you click on this like cropping icon here, and then at the top you go on width, and then you change that to 1280, and you change the other one to 720. And when you've done that, you can like move it to wherever you want, and then you click enter on your keyboard. The next thing I do is I go up to the top and go on filter, and then you go to details, and on the side it should say blur. Click on that, and then you can blur the background out a bit. I'd say maybe put it to like 30, 40 or 50, and then you'll see your background is blurred. And I have a bunch of these overlays in my folder. I found them from YouTube videos. Honestly, just search up like Roblox overlays for thumbnails and it should come up with a bunch of videos. And that's where I downloaded all of these from. I'm going to use this one, and it is a border overlay, so I'm going to open that, and then it should like lock into your thing perfectly. But if it doesn't, then you can just use this, and then you're going to go to the side and right click and press locked, so that you can't interact with it while you're trying to do other stuff. But if you want to unlock it, then you can just click unlock. And now I'm going to go back over to add an image, and I have all these thumbnail rigs. They take a while to load in, and I've made these all ages ago. I just use the same GFX but posed it differently each time, so that I don't have to make a GFX every time I make a thumbnail. And it's got like all of my different outfits, so I'll just click one of those. I'm going to use this one, and then it should pop up pretty big, but you can scale it down like that, and then you can put it up to your image. I like to have mine almost as tall as the image, so about there is good. And then what I like to do, you don't have to do this, but I go to filter, and then I go to effect library, and because it just looks a little bit dull, I like to add the flower filter onto it. I put it at 40 just so it like brightens it up a little bit. So I do that, and then obviously I'm going to lock that one again. And then the next thing I'm going to do is add text. So you go to the side where it says text, and then you can just click on the screen, and then you can press add a new text layer. And these are like the only fonts I use, so I've only have them downloaded. But I'm going to show you guys how I would usually like use my fonts in my thumbnails. So for mine, I'm just going to write thumbnail, and then in this font I'm going to write tutorial, and I like to have the size around 100. But once you have it at the size you want, this is optional, but I like to go to the side and click curve, and then I would curve it just a tiny little bit, just like that. And then I'll go on outline, and I'll put the outline as white, and then I'll click shadow, and then I'll put the shadow to black, and I like to put the blur and the opacity down a little bit. But once you've done all that, you can click enter on your keyboard, and then you should see it says fill with like a white box. This is where you can colour your font, and I like to do a gradient. So first of all, you're going to click on this one, and then you can click here in the colour box to choose your colour, and I'm going to choose like a pink obviously. And then to change the other side of the gradient, you click on the other side, and then you click on colour, and then choose your colour. You might notice that there's like not a lot of gradient in it. All you need to do for that is change like the position of your gradient slider thing, and you can see if I put it up to here, then there's like not a lot of gradient, but if I put it like more evenly in the middle, then you can see there's a gradient. But because it's curved, it is going to be a little bit different. But once you're happy with your gradient, you can just click enter. Obviously you don't have to do a gradient, you could just do a basic colour. Once you've done that, you can go to the side and hit lock, and then we're going to add another text layer. So go back onto text and just click on your screen screen and press add, and then you can write out whatever you want to write, and then I'm going to put on my font. And for this one, I don't think I'll use a gradient, I think I'll just use a solid colour. So you just go on colour and click the colour you want, and then I'm going to go back over to this section here, and then I'm going to put an outline on it, and I'm also going to add a shadow to it. So I'm going to put my shadow to black, and then I'm going to turn down the opacity and the blur a little bit, and then I'm going to go back over to the side and click lock. And now for the fun part, we're going to add some overlays. So I have this arrow overlay and I like to use it a lot, but if you want to colour an overlay, it is a bit different to text. I'm just going to position this, but what you need to do for that is you go to adjustment, and then you go down to colour lookup, click on that, and then you can choose the colour you want for your overlay. It is like the same as the text with the gradient. Also, if you want to add more of these sliders, like more colours, you can just click here and then it will add more. So if you wanted to do like a rainbow, then you could do that. But once you're happy with that, you can click apply, and then I like to add an outline to mine. But also, if you want to add a shadow, then you can click on filter and go down to drop shadow, and then you can change the opacity and the blur, and once you're happy with that, you can click apply. I forgot to mention this before, but you can also add an outline to your character because I think it makes it look better. So you can go to filter and click outline, and then it will outline it for you. I wouldn't make it too thick though. I'd say like this thickness is pretty good. Just click apply, and then we can lock that again. And I'm just going to add in some of my old thumbnails as like an example of what I'm going to be showing the viewers how to make. So I've just added in some of my old random thumbnails. But if you feel like it looks a little bit plain around the edges, I would add one of these like action line things. Obviously the outline is black, but I'll show you guys how to fix that. So to make it transparent, I've just brought it up to the top layer so I can show you guys better. But to get rid of the black and make it like an overlay, you just right click on it, and then you can go to blend mode and click lighter, and then you can see it is like, you know, more of a PNG. But also I like to turn this down a bit in opacity because otherwise I feel like it's a little bit much. But now I'm going to move it back down to the bottom layer. But yeah, that is how I make my thumbnails. But to save it, you just go to the file button in the corner and then click save. But all of these settings are fine how they are, and you can just click save as and save it to your folder. But anyway guys, that is how I make my thumbnails. I really hope this video was helpful to you, and I hope it was all understandable. If you have any questions, then let me know in the comments. I'll be answering all of the ones that I can. Make sure to check out my socials, all linked in the description. I've linked my Instagram, my Roblox, and my Roblox group. Subscribe to become a fave, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye my faves!